Well, elections are about the future. If you want to be a Republican leader in the House or the Senate, you have to have a working relationship with President Donald Trump. He's the most consequential Republican since Ronald Reagan. It's his nomination if he wants it, and I think he'll get reelected in 2024. I like Senator McConnell. He worked well with President Trump to get a bunch of judges, including three Supreme Court justices on the bench. They got the tax cuts passed working together. But here's the question. Can Senator McConnell effectively work with the leader of the Republican Party, Donald Trump? I'm not going to vote for anybody that can't have a working relationship with President Trump, to be a team, to come up with an American First agenda, to show the difference between us and liberal Democrats, prosecute the case for Trump policies. And I'm not going to vote for anybody for leader of the Senate as a Republican unless they can prove to me that they can advocate an American First agenda and have a working relationship with President Trump, because if you can't do that, you will fail.
I just think all of this is breathtaking, because I want to use this, Waz, as an opportunity to juxtapose Donald Trump to current President Joe Biden. Donald Trump has somehow persuaded US senators on the Republican Party to abandon one of their most effective leaders, Senate Minority Leader Mitch McConnell, just to kiss Trump's ass, even though Trump on his own is incompetent and can't get anything done. Like, it is amazing, right? Like, whereas Biden can't even get members of his own party to agree with him on passing a watered down voting rights bill that will do at least the bare minimum to protect the future of the Democratic Party. Just let that all sink in.
Also, I think what's slickly kind of funny about Lindsey Graham's statement is that the most consequential Republican since Donald Reagan, since Ronald Reagan, it's kind of only been the two Bushes as presidents. Like, that was a shot at the Bushes, man. Like, what? Like, Poppy Bush got to be sitting somewhere. Like, what the hell? More consequential than me? I was the first one-term Republican president since Reagan. What are you talking about? He's got to be so pissed right now. But no, it's obviously a clown show, Lindsey Graham, and I can't. And as you guys know, I can't never respect a brother who refuses to live in his truth. So I ain't gonna respect Lindsey Graham. I'll tell you that much. And it's like, you don't have to do this. Like, nobody's making you do. There's no pressure on Lindsey Graham to go out and be Donald Trump's attack dog and be like, oh, Donald Trump this, Donald Trump that. He's obviously voluntarily doing this to just get brownie points and curry favor with his zaddy.
Well, I mean, look, let's not make any mistakes here. Everything is fueled by, everyone's got an agenda, everyone's got a motive in Washington. And right now, I think Senator Lindsey Graham is already placing his bets on Donald Trump winning the 2024 election, which I don't think that's necessarily a bad bet. And Lindsey Graham has admitted just transparently during an interview on The Daily, the New York Times podcast, that the reason why he's sucking up to Trump after criticizing him so much during the 2016 election is because he wants to stay relevant.
Dr. Oz decided to support Trump's unfounded and insane claims that the 2020 election was rigged and stolen from Donald Trump. And he did so in the context of a debate. Dr. Oz, of course, is running for a Senate seat in Pennsylvania. So this was during the Republican primary debate for that Senate seat. Moderators asked whether it was time for the GOP to move forward as Trump continues to talk about the 2020 election. Now, what did Dr. Oz say? Oz said he had discussed the 2020 election with Trump and that, quote, we cannot move on. Interestingly enough, his primary opponent, another Republican, David McCormick, said it was a tragedy that most Republican voters in Pennsylvania didn't believe in the integrity of the election. And of course, over and over again, Oz pointed to the fact that Trump endorsed him particularly over his chief foe, former hedge fund CEO David McCormick. Now, it is interesting because this wasn't always Dr. Oz's position. He was actually asked point blank, what would you do if you were a senator in Pennsylvania? Would you certify the votes for Biden? And here's what he had previously said.
If you were a sitting senator in Pennsylvania, would you have certified those votes for Joe Biden?
I think by the time the votes had gotten through the entire process, and remember, what ended up happening in my Commonwealth of Pennsylvania is that there was not a timely and effective adjudication of what went down. So now you're in this legal quandary. And the question as a Republican is, am I a law and order guy? And once the law was broken at a place was way before I'm supposed to decide, sure, I didn't have a choice. And I would have voted to certify, to preserve our Constitution. We don't want to ever be in that situation again.
He would have certified the votes. He was very clear there.
Yeah.
No, the thing about Dr. Oz, I'm sure that he, in some ways, is a very smart person, right? I mean,
no question,
surgeon. He's done some quackery in the past. I get that as well, but he's not a dumb guy. But he thinks everyone else is dumb, and that's a problem, because that video that we just showed you is not from that long ago, clearly, and he just thinks everyone forgot, including the right-wing voters who continue to attack him for very clearly flip-flopping due to his own political ambitions.
Yeah, so look, I have an interesting perspective on this because I'm Turkish, so I've known Dr. Oz from a while back, and the Turkish community has known him forever, way before he went on TV, because he's actually was one of the best heart surgeons in the country. So the Turkish community, since it's small in America, was super proud of Dr. Oz when he was a heart surgeon. He goes on TV, and some people were like, well, I mean, I don't know why you got to do that. I mean, why don't you just stay a heart surgeon? And I thought that's not fair, especially because I'm a talk show host, so I didn't mind that. But a lot of people were like, okay, then he started doing the quackery on the TV show. And a lot of Turks were like, oh, that's super embarrassing. You were one of the best surgeons in the country. Why are you saying nutso stuff on TV? Just what, for fame and money? You already had money. What do you need this for?
It's never enough.
It's because it's never enough. Now he goes into politics. Brother, you had all the money in the world, all the fame in the world, what else do you need? No, he's gonna debase himself. And he's gonna go kiss Trump's ass. Now remember, Dr. Oz is Muslim. I mean, I don't know what his religious affiliation is these days, but he's Turkish. I'm positive he was born Muslim. Trump said we should ban all Muslims from entering the country when he was running for office in 2016. And here this guy is kissing his ass publicly. That is humiliating. I don't know a single Turk left now in the country who isn't deeply embarrassed by Dr. Oz. So look, you've changed all of your positions. Your Republican opponents are loathsome, but they are correct. You change your position on pro-life, pro-choice, you name it, you switch your position. And that tells you he'll do anything for power, anything. It's a disease. There's just no end to the greed. And that's what you're seeing unfolding with Dr. Oz, and it's one of the saddest things I've ever seen.